because I even like to even use this example, because for me, like, and I'm actually going to do a different. I'm going to actually do a review on that very soon, which you should check out, which is Elephant Man. For me, like, Elephant Man, well, Elephant Man is the second most depressing film I've ever seen in my life. The most depressing thing I've ever seen in my life is Roots, for very obvious reasons. So, but definitely, Elephant Man is definitely right up there as in the elite of one of the most depressing films I've ever seen. And the thing about the Grave of the Fireflies is that they were trying too hard to make you go like, oh, the poor little girl, oh. And for me personally, I don't like that. For me as a viewer, I don't want to be spoon-fed emotions. I want to have the emotions for myself. So maybe I mean, based on myself, based on how you made the film, I want to choose whether, oh, do I feel for this daughter or do I not feel for this daughter? But I think they were trying too hard to make you feel sorry for this young girl, and so, and you almost like, I was feeling, okay, maybe is it me being guilty, or is it because I'm a machine that I'm like, okay, oh, like, no, like, this daughter, she's just too much, and like, it's too, oh, I'm so young, I'm so innocent, like, it was too much, been forced down my throat too much. So that's just what that's what I didn't really like about it, and I think that really, it's for me, and I think another problem I had with this was that, okay, maybe it's wrong to expect things from films, but I felt that at the beginning of the film, I thought, okay, man, this is interesting. We're now going to be seeing how Japan was affected by this war, but through the eyes of these two. But it's still going to be sort of like balance between, like, looking at the landscape as a whole, of the people as a whole, and how they were dealing with the final days of the Second World War, but told through the eyes of these two characters. But I felt, okay, that was how it was at the beginning. But then afterwards, it just pretty much became their story. It just pretty much became their story. And for me, I just felt, okay, look, man, it's just a film, and that's just what the story was. But I felt that it would have been better if we had seen more of Japan as a whole. It's good. Like, in the beginning, we saw that how they dealt with the rationings, how food was hard to come by, how people were having to run into shelters, how it was hard to basically get rice, rice to eat, and for me, that stuff was good. I was like, man, okay, you're really getting into the nitty-gritty of how these guys were living during these hard times, But the thing is that, I wanted more of that, and I felt that the story sort of just went too much into the little girl. And how this young guy was trying to treat this little girl, and for me, I just don't like being force-fed emotions, and that's why I use the example of Elephant Man. The thing with Elephant Man is that it's not forcing anything down on you. It's just the story just put out there. You're not having any scenes. I don't think there's actually any music in Elephant Man, So there's no emotional music or anything like that. There are no scenes of where you're forced to feel that, oh, look, no, it's just the guy who's deformed and he's just trying to live. And you as a viewer can then choose what emotions you have towards that based on how good the directing is, based on how good the acting is. So there are no tricks to force you to feel a certain way. And I know I respect that a lot more, and I feel that is just the way they should do these things. But with this, like, just how, with the way, you see, the little girl was pretty much the linchpin of the story. And I felt that they were trying too hard to make the viewers, like me, have so much sympathy for this little girl. Whereas you should choose whether you have sympathy for the little girl based on how good the script is, based on how well the character is drawn, But it was just being force-fed to me, which I didn't like. And for me, I think, for me, like, I'm just even thinking about the film and the story, obviously, for those who've seen the story. For me, like, I think only one of the main crucial parts that I actually picked up from the film was, when the main guy, he goes to the farm, and he goes back to this guy that he used to get food from, and obviously the guy said, look, man, I'm hustling here as a farmer, And the guy said to the guy, which was right, that look, man, swallow up your pride and go back to that to where you were staying. Because obviously they left because she was treating them like crap, and she was saying crap to them, and obviously it would be hard to live under that. But the fact is, you have, for me, how I viewed about it, which is why it was such a very important line, was that when you have a small child like there with you, there's no time for pride. Just put the girl like in a nursery school or something, or leave the girl with the very rude woman, and then you go off and trying to basically get some food or like get a job to help her, something like that. But the fact is that there is no space for pride, because at the end of the day, he has to take responsibility for her dying. He has to take responsibility for her dying, because by them leaving and going to live off by themselves, they were finding it hard. They were finding it hard, and trust me. I mean, I don't think the woman was rude, but she was not a devil. Okay, let's just put it like the woman was rude. Yes, she was very, was like, all right, look, man, woman, chill, man, just chill. Okay, yeah, maybe some of what you're saying is right and it's just right, but chill, just chill. But the fact is that the woman was not a devil. I mean, she's not going to just leave, because remember, she didn't kick them out. Obviously, she wasn't begging them to stay or anything like that, but she didn't kick them out. That's the very important thing. She didn't, because she didn't just allow. She would not allow a small girl just to go off on the road like that. So I felt that that was a very important line, and I think it's again, as I say, that was again one of the best bits of the film, because then now the audience can now choose, because many people will feel that, no, man, the guy shouldn't really return back, because no, he should have enough pride and say, we can live on ourselves and let us go. We don't need to get insulted by this stupid woman, and let us live by ourselves. But for me, the way I viewed it was that swallow up your pride, man. Yes, but sometimes in life we have to do things that we don't like, but you're doing it for the greater good, and the greater good is keeping your sister well fed and keeping her. So literally, you don't matter as a person. All that matters is my young sister well fed and well nourished. If that means I can't live with her, fine. You put her in whatever. You basically you cut your hand off to make sure that your little sister is eating well. Because you don't matter. She matters, because she's with a young small girl. So that's a very important thing. I think that he messed up. But I think what. Looking at the film as a whole, look, man, for those who haven't seen, obviously, this is a spoiler review, but again, it's a film that I'd recommend to many people, but I just think that, it's kind of like a lesson in storytelling, I feel, and in the way you form scripts and you form stories, because I feel that the best stories in the world, they're just out there. They're not really forcing anything on you, Because look, man, look, man, this film, it had some very good elements. I told you, the relationship between, the guy and his sister, it was very real. There were times when it was just a bit too, okay, this is a bit, it was, they were just stretching the emotional thing a bit too much for me. They were stretching it a bit too much for me, but it was good, it was real. You really felt it, it was like a real proper film. But I just think that, you have to allow the audience to really choose. I don't like to be spoon-fed a way to feel that you must feel sad now, you must cry now, this is where you must be happy now. No, it's like, no, I should choose, I should choose. So, I think that was for me. At the end of the day, really, it's not. I didn't really like the film, but I appreciate its artistry and I appreciate its quality. But personally, for me, it's not. No, it didn't really do it for me. It didn't really do it for me. So, bada bing. There you go, man. There you go.